As I say every Monday morning, tis a vibe. What is up, nerds? It's me, your buddy pal, Hey Archer. Welcome back to Nerdy Coffee on this Monday morning. It's going to be 65 up here in the Northeast today. So feeling pretty good about that. The question is, are we all feeling pretty good about Star Wars Celebration? So we're talking about that. There's like one other thing I was going to bring up. I don't even know if I'm going to get to that, but it's going to be pretty Star Wars heavy. So sit back, relax, enjoy the show. If you're new, we normally cover box office, some news of the past week, and things that we're watching. Like I said, a lot of it's Star Wars. There's one other thing maybe, but box office will be, surprisingly enough, no Star Wars in box office, but we're still talking about it. If you've got a YouTube channel, a podcast, a blog, a vlog, an OnlyFans, a newsletter, smoke signals, put it in the chat, support one another, plug yo shit. As the kids say, and as I tend to say, flying solo dolo today, but doesn't mean you can't interact. If something comes up, if something pops up in the news that I'm not aware of, put it in the chat and we'll talk about it. We're going to run for about 30. I think today we'll go for like 30 because we actually have a trailer reaction as well. That's a new thing on today's show. But before I start any of that, of course, good morning to the rambling nerd himself. As I sip my cup of brew out of your mug. Despite the warmer weather, I'm drinking a pumpkin spice today. Aaron Waller, good to see you. Rolando, hardest. I think Rolando, Aaron, he may dethrone you because Rolando's in every stream on the internet. So I'm not sure if that makes him the hardest working man on YouTube or if Aaron's still going to hold the title. I'm not sure. We may have to put that one up for debate. And Yukon Phil in the house. Good to see you. Hopefully you've converted to the dark side and have acknowledged Taco Bell. Hopefully that's happened. All right. We have a lot to cover today, so we're not gonna waste too much time. So we're going to actually, I know last week I kind of mixed up the order, but it's going to be very Star Wars heavy. So we're going to lead off with some box office stuff. Oh, I didn't even switch. Silly me. So now we'll lead off with a box office recap. I was actually very shocked by this one. Yes, Anthony, what a weekend. I was shocked by how my allergies came in full force. And I was also shocked at the full force that is the Super Mario Brothers movie. 146 million opening weekend. Right now they have, as we all predicted, dethroned John Wick. And John Wick is still holding strong. John Wick at 14.6 million. Dungeons and Dragons holding strong, 14.5. Air, 14.5. And then Scream 6. Just gripping on right there. So totally shocked. I'm not going to lie. Totally shocked. Good morning, Lenny. Good to see you. By the way, I forgot to say this. Leave a thumbs up if you're hanging out with us. If you're new, drop a subscribe. And if you're so ever inclined, join the Nerd Foundation. Help support the channel. Support the movement. And General Kenobi, good to see you as well. So yeah, Super Mario Brothers dominated this past week. And I'm going to say week. Oh, and Cheyenne, good to see you. Yeah, Super Mario Brothers smash hit because kids don't care what critics say. That's true. That is true. But I'm also curious, right? I'm curious if this movie's success because overall on the whole week, because remember it opened up early, so we're 5 days, close enough. 5 days, 146.3. Is that what I said on the other end? I did. So they're counting they're counting from Wednesday. So I feel like it's a little bit of cheating, but hey, whatever. 146 on the no, domestic 204. So they do separate it. All right. So 204 overall domestic, and then 377 worldwide, which is wild. I did not think it will pop the way it did, but talk about timing. Came out, a lot of kids were on school break, so of course, why not? Cheyenne saying my kids loved it, and my husband said it was okay. The animation looked really good. There you go. Anthony saying I'm going this week to Mario with the kiddos. Review ASAP. Yeah, there you go. It's the only kids movie out, so I guess if you did want to take the kids somewhere and kill some time, take a nap while they're entertained, why not take them to the movies? Now, what's even more impressive than this, and why I think this is a big deal. So far, year to date, it's number 3 at 204. Kenobi said, we watched Mario. I think my wife and I enjoyed it more than my kids. That's all right. That's good. And it's funny because IGN made a post this week, which I thought was like, I couldn't tell what they were going for. When I read it, I assumed they were trying to like make excuses for the movie, but they were like, hey guys, reminder, the movie's for kids, like just a random post. So I was like, all right, I guess, maybe the movie's not that good and they're trying to buffer it, whatever. But no, apparently a lot of you like it, despite what the critics are saying. Oh, this coffee's so good, man. I tell you, the hardest part about this show is I hold off on my coffee until we go live, but I'm up like 2 hours earlier because part of my New Year's resolutions is cutting down the coffee intake. I was probably doing like 4, sometimes 5 cups a day. I'm trying to do just 2. So waiting until this show to have that first cup of my my crack hit. It hurts. One day hurts a little bit more. Lenny saying, is D&D not a kids movie? I'm not sure, but if I'm looking at the trailers, despite what the ratings may be, I'm not sure if it's a kids movie. Like if I'm a parent who has no idea, I'm not sure. Animation, for the most part, I could say sure shot. But the fact that it beat out Creed 3, I thought was quite impressive. So again, shout out to you, Super Mario Brothers. Did for anybody here who watched it, I know Aaron's answers. I watched his review. What's up, Patrick? Good to see you, Know Your Craft. Look at that, Know Your Craft doing double duty up here. He's the latest super chat and the latest affiliated nerd. Yeah, 4 cups a day. I do 4 now. Jenna Kenobi does 4 an hour. Maybe I need a mid-year resolution. There you go. But yeah, trying to cut it down. But yeah, Know Your Craft doing double duty up there. So thank you for the support, sir. All right, we're going to roll into nerd news, which is pretty much all Star Wars today, and I'm okay with that. We're going to end the nerd news segment, I think, on a trailer reaction to Star Wars Visions Volume 2, which I am very excited for. I think on the entire weekend, as far as a Star Wars property coming out that I'm like genuinely excited for, Visions is number 1. Everything else, I'm like, all right, I got to see it to believe it. Actually, no, that's a lie, because Tales of the Jedi Season 2 also was announced. So those 2 shows, I'm like full on, I'm good to go. The rest of it, I got to see it to believe it. So first thing, we had an Ahsoka trailer, and we got the reveal of Grand Admiral Thrawn. And what's cool about this, and actually Anthony was saying the other day, this is something that he really enjoys. The voice actor of the cartoon will also be taking the live reins and doing the live action version of the character. So I'm excited for that. That part I'm excited for. But something I think that we all knew was going to happen at some point was, how is this all going to translate from animation to live action? It was not going to be an easy feat. Now, we saw 2 weeks ago, I'm drawing a blank on his name. Zeb with a B from Rebels. He was on The Mandalorian. So we were like, all right, cool. He's going to be 3D, but still, or CGI, where does Thrawn fall in on this? So I guess a spoiler alert, because there is a leaked picture of him. If you don't want to see it, but let's see if I can scroll down and find it here. I had saved it before, but it was, hang on. Let's see, Thrawn live action reveal. I might have to type. Oh, here it is. And I have it in the thumbnail too. But I know it's not the best picture. But it's not hitting at the moment. I know we have to wait, but it's not quite hitting at the moment. And I think part of the disappointment I had on that one. Oh, sorry, there's like a hair or something like underneath my glasses. I think part of the letdown there is similar to my letdown going into Star Wars Episode 3, coming off of the Clone Wars cartoon. A lot of us, after seeing the Clone Wars cartoon back in the day, when you had America Online, if anybody knows what that is, if you don't, you're too young to be here. But coming off those days, you know, we didn't have like fan fiction, you know, we didn't have the internet, or we didn't have like YouTube videos to watch on like theories or whatever. So we all like on our own just came up with what we thought Episode 3 would be. More specifically, how would the lightsaber fights be? More specifically, the fight that would inevitably happen between General Grievous and Obi-Wan / Anakin. Movie comes out, so disappointed in how they handled that, because we had imagined in our head this epic battle, and then the payout was nothing, essentially. By the way, as I said at the top, leave a thumbs up if you're here in the stream. Greatly appreciate it. Definitely more people watching than thumbs up, so that's why I had to say it. So there was that disappointment. This one is similar because since Rebels ended, what was that? Rebels is over 5 years old at this point. Let's see. When was Rebels final season? 2018. There you go. I thought it was even older than that. So it premiered 2017, ended 2018. So yeah, we're about 5 years removed. And we know that there's a huge time gap between end of Rebels and the Ahsoka show. One is before the Battle of Yavin. One is after the Battle of Endor. So, huge gap. We're all thinking, you know, Thrawn comes out like long hair, I don't know, jacked or something. Like, I don't know. Like, I saw all sorts of things on the internet of just like him being just like rugged. And maybe they find him that way. Maybe they find him all rugged and he's been fighting aliens in the Outer Rim or some shit. I don't know. But seeing that picture, I was like, it seems like he's kind of just been chilling this whole time. But as I said at the top, this is merely a photo from a trailer that was only aired in Celebration behind closed doors. So we will have to see. But, you know, I'm even looking at these on the left, again, like fan-made pictures. I'm like, oh man, I just imagine that, but I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Rolando says doesn't look good. Yeah. Yeah, well. And I don't know if I'm going to do a live reaction to the Power Rangers 30th. Debatable. You know what it is? I'm not the biggest fan of like all the new Power Ranger stuff. I watched Super Mega Force. Actually, I think that was the last thing I watched in its entirety. Everything else I kind of was just like, so we'll see. He's a chilled guy for sure. Thrawn is. But Thrawn's also like a expert fighter. So I would love it if him and Ezra, even if it's a flashback episode, like a flashback episode, but like time skipping of them, fighting each other, and then them like having to work together for something. And then Thrawn, makes Ezra think he's changed his ways. And then eventually the Empire finds him on the Outer Rim. And then Thrawn turns on Ezra. And then Ezra's been in prison this whole time. Like, that'd be pretty cool. I think it'd be pretty cool. But I want him to be found in some sort of real badass, state. And please God, do not turn him into a good guy. Just do not do that. Do not do that. All right. So, next bit of news. You know what? I was gonna save the best for last, but I'm gonna actually save the best for last. Yeah, show him and Ezra battling over the whole exile. That'd be cool. And Thrawn would be whipping the shit out of Ezra because Ezra has no lightsaber. He has the Force, but he has no lightsaber. Thrawn, he has no weapons, but Thrawn is the more skilled, experienced fighter. So I don't even know how they would justify Ezra putting up a fight against Thrawn. But I think Thrawn, being the manipulative person that he is, words are just not my thing. But being that's who he is, tricking Ezra to get what he wants and then, turning his back on Ezra. I think it'd be pretty good. So this freaking thing, I don't know how to take this seriously, but we've had a lot of Star Wars movies and directors and projects announced that all go dead on the side of the road, and I need this one to end up dead on the side of the road. 3 new Star Wars movies are coming. That's nothing new. They keep saying that celebration after celebration after celebration. But yet Rey's coming back in one of them. And I misspoke. This week I was telling a friend it was a trilogy. No, 3 movies, 3 different time periods, one of them including Rey Skywalker. And it's, I don't know what the point of this is. I know kids like Rey. That part I understand. There is a fan base out there that likes the sequel trilogy because that's what they grew up on, similar to the generation that grew up on the prequel trilogy. Get it. I understand that part. But holy crap, there's no way that they sit there and they're like, this is going to be it. This is going to be one of the properties, one of the projects, I should say, that gets the ship course corrected and gets us to where we need to go. There is no freaking way. And I will even say, I spent the weekend doing a bunch of shorts and TikToks absolutely bashing Kathleen Kennedy and Star Wars. And I'm now a believer in the whole, like, you're being, what's the word? It's not blacklisted. It's shadow banned. Because even the one I made of Kathleen Kennedy coming out after I was bashing her all weekend, 1 view, 3 views on the Star Wars one, where everything else bare minimum gets like 200. Oh, look at this one, 28. Fine. But you're telling me one one view, I was like, these fools out here are trying to protect this shit like to the next level. If anybody in the chat is interested in this movie, please let me know. Maybe I'm tripping. To Anthony's question the other day, I don't think that we're Fandom Menace because there's plenty of Star Wars we're excited for, but holy shit, this is not it. This is not it. So we'll see what happens there. I hope it doesn't come out. I hope they just another round of firings, another round of budget cuts, and movie doesn't happen. And I will say this. I have nothing against Daisy Ridley. I have nothing. I would even go as far as to say I have nothing against her performance in those movies because she merely did her job. But everybody involved in the story writing, in the direction, the last minute decisions, the last minute firings and rewrites and all those people can go kick rocks. I know Lenny's excited for this movie. I knew that before you even said it. That's all I'm saying. Patrick saying I'm getting all my animated Star Wars knowledge right here. Yeah. Rebels, I say this week after week, I'm sorry. I will be doing, required watchings for all the animated stuff. Rebels is rough. I don't care what anybody says. Rebels, I don't know a single person that when they describe Rebels, they're like, oh no, it's good start to finish. Like it's usually, it gets some sort of passable type of tone in that person's voice. So Rebels isn't the greatest, but the final season, the way they wrap things up, very well done. Had some really, gut-wrenching moments. Has some pretty good highs. But overall, Rebels is like 7 out of 10, I would say. Kenobi can definitely let me know what he thinks there. Cheyenne saying Rey's a Mary Sue and it's not interesting as a protagonist. Yeah. John Boyega is a much more charismatic actor, and the character, if written, had potential. Yes. He also has no desire to come back. And was it Anthony? Was it you that mentioned you're afraid they're just going to shoehorn him being a Jedi into this? I feel like somebody said it. And I'm all for him being a Jedi. We all thought he was going to be a Jedi, but I think they would try to please us so badly. They just force it in. And it doesn't feel right. So Anthony says the actress was fine and she did as told. It's the fact that she was just there to dump on the original trilogy and whatnot. They didn't finish the job, but these kids will. Yeah. Yeah. It's weird. It was very weird. Very weird story. The last bit of news that I was excited for, Bad Batch Season 3, it is the final season. It is also going to be the final season of the Bad Batch. That was actually announced today, so it wasn't even this weekend. I didn't know Celebration was today as well, but it is. I'm happy it's the final season. I think I'm good on it. After last season, the way that I don't know how else to say it, but the way they abuse these shows to merely get subscribers on the app, it just bothers me. This show easily could have been 5 to 8 episodes, and it would have been perfect. Would have been fine. But a lot, was it 18 or something? So much of it was garbage. So I'm good. I think I'm good on this, unless when Kathleen leaves, and Dave gets the title, then I will entertain having all these shows come back. But until then, I think I'm all set. Sorry, I think I'm all set. And actually, I was thinking about it today when I was making my coffee. The final season of Clone Wars. A lot of us love that season. A lot of us hold it in high regard. But do you remember there was that middle piece that was just trash? There was let me pull up the episode list of Clone Wars final season episodes. Season 7. 12 episodes. So the first one, the first three are about the first two are about the Bad Batch. And I feel like it also went into, it kept going into episode 4. So the first 4 were like those episodes where we had in the past seen unfinished CGI of, another season of Clone Wars, and people are like, oh, like, where am I going to get that? Like, who are those people? Like, why does that guy look like Rambo? Like, we pretty much got those episodes out of the gate. Those are the first 4. And then we had here, where was it? Episode 6. Oh, sorry. Episode 5, 6, and 7 of just trashed. Oh, sorry. 8. 5, 6, 7, 8. 4 episodes of Ahsoka hanging out with these sisters for no reason. Absolutely no reason. They did nothing for the entire story. There was no character development or anything with Ahsoka here. It was just a month. Sorry, my allergies are really kicking up lately. Literally a month of nothing just to carry you and your subscription for another month. And that's how I think they're using these episodes. That's how I think they're using these shows, and it's wild. Then you get to finally the final episode 9 through 12, where you're like, all right, now it's great again. But I don't want them doing that with Bad Batch anymore. And with these shows, just give me some good storytelling. So Bad Batch season 3, the final season, the final frontier. I'm good. I'm ready for us to move on. So I had pulled up here the Ahsoka trailer just in case there's anything here we wanted to talk about. Of course, we have Sabine here. Something for those of you who didn't watch Rebels, which is probably most people who will be watching the show, I should say. Most people watching the show will probably be like, I don't know who any of these characters are, and then stop after the first episode. But Sabine is a Mandalorian. She held a darksaber at one point, and they kind of just skipped past all that when Mandalorian came out. So hopefully they address it all. But Sabine, pretty cool character. She was like the angsty teen character on the show. Then you got Ahsoka and Sabine. They were good friends. So I'm excited for that. There is a leaked, in that same trailer that shows Thrawn, there's a part where she's wielding Ezra's lightsaber. So I am curious to see about that. She's not force sensitive. Like, maybe they allude to that here in the show, but in Rebels, she really wasn't force sensitive. She just trained with Ezra and Kanan, his master, because she was going to use the darksaber. She only knew how to use projectile weapons. So they're like, all right, we're going to train you how to use melee weapons, so that way when you wield the darksaber, you know what you're doing. And actually, fun fact, if you guys remember in Book of Boba Fett, but with the 2 Mando episodes, that was when they really showed that the darksaber had weight to it when Mando was wielding it. Rebels is when they first introduced that. Like, she's using it, she's like, it feels like it's getting heavier and heavier. And then as she gets better in her training, she's like, oh, like I don't feel the weight as much anymore. So that whole concept of becoming one with your Kyber crystal, that came from Rebels. And she was the character that they used to introduce that. Here you have Hera. She was I was going to say leader, but she wasn't really the leader as the show progressed. But she was the pilot of their ship. She fell in love with Kanan, who was the Jedi Master of Ezra, who was kind of the main character of the show. And we see her here once again. Pretty excited for that. Another fun fact, that's Ewan McGregor's wife. So I'm excited for it, but not to the same extent as I am Tales of Jedi and Visions, because Mandalorian so far is just not, it's not doing it. Book of Boba Fett, disappointment. So I have no reason to be like, oh my God, this is so amazing. I got to see it. I got to see it first. And then another thing you'll notice here, the Sith that are going to be in the show have a different color lightsaber. Literally, Dave Filoni, once again, just kind of messing around with stuff. There's nothing to it, so he says, his own words. In Rebels, the lightsaber blades were really thin. That was him paying homage to how thin the lightsabers were in New Hope. Here, with the color, the orange color, he's kind of paying homage to how the red didn't always translate on the old films, and it came a little bit more like orangey red. So that's why it looks like that. Kenobi saying Hera was the mom character. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she just bossed the Jedi and clones and droids. Yeah, she was. All right, so let me end today's stream on the Visions trailer. So let me make sure, turn that on. And I didn't get a chance to test to make sure audio was going to work. So I will play it for a bit. Make sure this is turned on here as well. That looks good. All right. So I'll play it for like a couple seconds. Let me know if you hear it. Pretty badass already. Did you guys hear that? Let me know. I'm just going to mute myself and listen to the stream. All right. Kenobi said he heard it. Great. All right. We're rolling. Hopefully we don't get taken down. I'm already interested now. And by the way, if anybody does not know, Visions is an Elseworlds story or stories. Every episode, different characters. None of it's canon. One of the episodes, or maybe two of the episodes in the first season, if they ever wanted to make canon, I guess you could, because there were like Boba Fett's in one of them. So you're like, all right, he's there. So I guess you can, put him in put the show into canon. But otherwise, these are all like just random stories, different companies making them, different studios making them, just telling a Star Wars story where they just have lightsabers and have the Force. Outside of that, not related to anything else. So here we go.
Has an inner light.
Absolutely amazing.
Follow the light.
I always knew you were meant for bigger things.
What if you just keep going?
No need to fear. There are others like you here.
I saw it myself. She has special powers.
Can you get your porta potty off the starting line?
She's a total... Exactly.
Don't be afraid. May the Force be with you.
It's showtime.
Whoa.
A storm is approaching.
I can fight them. I'm strong enough now.
No one is stronger than them.
We can beat them.
No!
You there! Hold it!
Nice. On Star Wars Day. It's great.
We cannot choose where our calling takes us.
to answer.
See? That's fucking Star Wars. That is fucking Star Wars right there. I mean, come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Like, and this is kind of what I want. Like, going forward, I'm over the Skywalker saga. Truly, I'm over it. And because I don't trust them anymore with the Skywalker saga. Just don't trust you with it. But you know what? When I see Visions, especially like this little like shorter, I forget the name of that sword. Like Samurai had like two swords. They had like their main katana, and then they had the shorter one. Similar to Ahsoka, actually. So Ahsoka has a shorter blade versus the normal longer blade. But like this one here with the curvature and everything reminds me of that. Like, give me some Star Wars stories, shows, whatever they may be, that have nothing to do with anything. It's Star Wars because it looks similar with the stormtroopers. It looks similar with the fact that they have glowing swords. And that's it. It's in space. And that's it. Just freaking Shoto. There you go. Thank you, Kenobi. Oh, I hate when I do that. But amazing. Absolutely amazing. And the best part about Visions, if you haven't gone back, give it a watch. They dumped all the episodes in one day, so you can kind of just watch the whole thing. And even like this little kid character here, right? In Visions, some of the best episodes were like the ones aimed at kids. It was because they were able to tell a good story, trying to make it a singular 20-minute story and not have all sorts of stupid fluff in it. My favorite one is about a robot kid like Mega Man who wishes he could be a Jedi, but yet he's a droid. Great stuff. I'm all in. I cannot wait for this. I am way more excited for Visions than I am anything else. Anything else. Let me know if you guys agree, of course. But I think as I saw, and Legacy's in the house. Good to see you, brother. As I saw from the chat, you guys were more excited for that. Why is it focused on the WWE thing there? There we go. And then Patrick saying, I still haven't watched season 1 since I've never opened Disney Plus. Wait, I still haven't watched season 1 since I never opened Disney Plus. I don't know what you mean, so I'm thinking you mean you haven't watched season 1 because you refuse to open Disney Plus. But no, Visions was something else. Was that last year? The year before? So I'm pumped for all that. All that. Give it to me. Just give it to me. And that's a wrap. I think we hit everything. We're at 39 minutes. Yeah. It's time to call it a day. Just checking my notes real quick. And yeah, Mandalorian, second to last episode is this week. So good luck. Good luck with that. That's all I say. Why does my camera keep focusing elsewhere? Stay with me. Stay with me. But yeah, good luck with that. Look at that, General Kenobi, the day after my birthday. I love that. I love that. Well, thank you all for hanging out with me this morning. Hopefully you have a good week. We had a lot of stuff, a lot of Star Wars this past weekend. New Jedi Survivor trailer dropped. Are you guys excited for that game? Are you excited for new movies coming out? Dave Filoni is getting his own movie. That kind of excitement is different. That's more intrigue. I want to see what happens there. But the fact that they still tote Kathleen Kennedy around like she's that important, like we want her there, nah, I'm good. Star Wars Visions, though, May 4th. Excited for that. Maybe I do some sort of watch thing on that. I'm not sure. That might be a good idea, actually. But you also asked if I'm doing a Power Rangers 30th anniversary stream. I'll consider that as well. Either way, thank you for being here. Nerdy Coffee every Monday morning, 9 a.m.-ish here on Nerd Affiliated. Hey Archer Live every Thursday, 8:15-ish p.m. here on Nerd Affiliated. Shorts and videos are dropping over on TikTok, Nerd_affiliated, here on the YouTube channel, and of course, Instagram, Nerd Affiliated. Of course, join our Nerd Foundation, become affiliated, help support the movement. But at the bare minimum, like, comment, subscribe, and we'll talk to all you nerds in the next video. Peace. We're out of here.